What is going on, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down issue 1 of the most current volume of Miles Morales Spider-Man, written by Cody Ziglar, the art's done by Federico Vincentini, and the color artist is Bryan Valenza. While I am going to be giving an in-depth breakdown of this issue and talking about important details, I still recommend you grab yourself a copy to support the creators and have one for your own collection. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, before I begin on the newest series, I want to give you a quick recap to what happened in Saladin Ahmed's 42-issue run of Miles Morales Spider-Man that just ended back in September of 22. I realize 42 issues is a lot to go over, but the series played a significant role in developing Miles' character. I recommend getting some trade paperbacks for that one because Ahmed did a killer job on the series. A reoccurring issue with Miles is that he's always struggling with himself. He gets caught up in life constantly, and because not many people know his secret, it begins to take a toll on him. He struggles to find a balance of family, school, friends, relationships, and then obviously saving the city. So yeah, he's got a lot going on. Now, this series introduced us to a lot of new characters, both heroes and villains, that continue to play a role throughout the series, and some even made their way into the newest volume. Miles even got a brand new suit, not gonna lie, not a fan of it at all, but hey, that's just me. So now first up today, we've got Starling. Her real name is Tiana Toombs. She's actually the granddaughter of an already established character, the Vulture. Tiana didn't have the best home life growing up, so she would spend a lot of time with her grandfather. He eventually gave her her own suit based on his and wanted her to follow her dreams. Her and Miles' first meeting didn't go over so well. They were both looking to take down Tombstone. Throughout the series, her and Miles grow a lot closer to each other, and eventually it honestly turns into a little secret love interest. So the next major villain we get introduced to is arguably the most relevant and important throughout the entire series. This villain's name is the Assessor, and he's pretty much does exactly what his name suggests. What this character does basically helps set up the rest of Saladin Ahmed's run on Miles. Miles was kidnapped and used by the Assessor to go through a series of trials to see how his body reacts and how he's able to overcome different adversities. But you see, the Assessor isn't doing this for himself. He was hired by Ultimatum. This is the original Miles Morales from Earth 616. Now with Ultimatum, because of the Assessor's findings, this is what started basically Miles' own clone wars. Miles dealt with clones, the Ultimate Universe's Green Goblins even made an appearance for a little bit, and because of all of this, he had to go find his Uncle Aaron in the multiverse. It was a crazy good series with a lot of stuff going on. To me, the only other major character that was introduced in this series was Miles' baby sister, Billy. At the time, there was a lot of buzz around this character and what type of role she would eventually be playing. A lot of people actually thought she could be Spider-Zero from the Spider-Verse 2019 series. My opinion, I don't really know about that, but we do eventually see an older version of Billy in this Saladin Ahmed series when Miles has to take down Ultimatum once and for all in the multiverse, but that's about it. In my opinion, these are the major characters and events that play a very significant role affecting Miles in most of the current series. Obviously, a lot more happens, so that's why I recommend grabbing the trade paperbacks and get completely caught up for this one. This series begins with a journal entry from Miles, and to me, this is one of my favorite aspects to all of his series. It always gives a deeper insight to what and how he's feeling. And might I add, Vincentini's artwork is absolutely phenomenal in this series so far. This journal entry gives a very minor recap of the things that Miles has been dealing with over the course of the last series, like the clones and Peter Parker going weird with the Beyond Corporation, and all of that stuff. A big part of Miles is doing the right thing and being kind to others, and that's what most of the rest of the entry is. He doesn't fully know how to process everything that has been going on with him, but he knows just a little bit of kindness can go a long way. Besides the Miles monologue, we get introduced to a brand new character named Ranim, and I really like how they incorporated her into the story with the journal entry because while he's talking about kindness, she's actually performing it and giving a chopped and cheese sandwich to a homeless woman. So you've got Miles giving his perspective on his life and how kindness can go a long way. We get introduced to this brand new character and she's performing actual acts of kindness, so I really like that about the beginning of this issue. Not soon after that though, Scorpion shows up and it's not looking good for Ranim, but Miles is here and obviously he's going to be saving the day. He swoops her up just in a nick of time, and now he's got a Scorpion problem to handle. The fight only lasts a few pages and they go back and forth exchanging some one-liners, but if you notice while they're fighting, clearly a lot of destruction is going on. This is the most important part of them battling. Miles hits him with the old Venom Blast and webs him up for the authorities, but the police show up and instead of thanking Miles, they're actually debating on arresting him. If you can recall, superheroes are outlawed and Miles is in violation of the Powers Act. Agent Gao refers to Miles as a masked freak and is giving him some straight up attitude. But what I like is that Miles is giving it right back to her as well. He's telling her, I literally saved the day. But when she starts breaking things down, I mean, she does kind of have a point. She goes into detail about all the damages that he's caused from stopping Scorpion, when in reality, if he actually would have let Scorpion just rob the bank, he would have gotten away with less money than the destruction on the city. Now, Agent Gao does cut Miles a break just this one time because he did save that girl Ranim. Don't forget about her though, because she's going to be playing an important role later on in this issue. And now for this next part of the issue, that's when you really begin to see Miles is becoming overwhelmed with life. Miles makes his way back to Brooklyn Visions Academy where he attends school, and as always, he is late yet again. But this time things go down a little bit differently for him. See, Miles is constantly late and pretty much on thin ice with all of his teachers. This is a reoccurring theme throughout all of his other series. Now, not only is he late for his exam, but he's got a nice black and blue eye on top of it. But in addition to that, his teacher puts him on spot asking if he thinks he's better than all of his classmates. Kind of a messed up thing to ask a kid if you're a teacher. I mean, I get it from his perspective though. He's constantly late to his classes and he did win that lottery, basically giving him a free ride to Brooklyn Visions Academy. But this teacher isn't stopping and finally struck that final nerve with Miles. Miles clapped back and got himself suspended for a couple days. Was it worth getting suspended? I don't know, but it does feel good telling someone off that's out of pocket. This first issue was so extremely well done in my opinion. They really showcased early on how Miles is struggling to hold it all together, and throughout the issue you see his problems pile up before he can't handle it anymore. As Miles was leaving, the teacher said, I pray you use this time to consider your place in this world, Mr. Morales, because others certainly are. Which is crazy because to the outside looking in, Miles is just this spoiled kid that skips class and basically does whatever he wants whenever he wants to. But in reality, he spends all of his time trying to satisfy others and make them happy. He literally saves the city on a daily basis. Everyone just doesn't know it. He's in a tough spot with his life. Every problem he has, he thinks it's his own and nobody else should have to deal with it. He doesn't even think to talk to Tiana about what's going on. She gets blown off just like everybody else. But eventually, all of those problems are going to catch up to you and you're going to have some sort of breakdown. He finally opens up to his parents though, after everything. Despite how good and positive he wants to be, it seems like he's getting resistance from every single angle. He's overwhelmed and he feels like he's losing himself. His parents give him good advice and they tell him just take it one thing at a time. I know this is just a comic book, but I feel like that's really good life advice. Life is tough and things are very hard. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and scared with things happening in your life, but if you just slow down and take it one day at a time, things will eventually get better. After an absolutely terrible day, what better way to blow off steam and get some frustration out than to stop some crime? Bumbler is doing a little breaking and entering, which throws Miles off a bit because last time they had a run-in, he thought they ended things on a positive note. Like I just got done saying though, life is tough, very tough sometimes, and Bumbler needed some money, so he had to resort back to his old ways. Things are a bit different this time. Miles isn't holding back and he's letting his anger get the best of him. While he's giving Bumbler the beatdown of his life, he mumbles a little comment and I think it's pretty important for later in the story. He has a new suit with some new added powers and he mutters, she wasn't lying about them upgrades. So while he wasn't interested in fighting Miles, he literally just wanted to do a little breaking and entering to get some money. He did receive an upgraded suit from somebody and we don't find out who that person is. But back to the beatdown. Miles realizes that he took it a few steps too far. After he webs up Bumbler, he swings off to think about everything again. He clearly has a good support system around him. He's got loving parents, his best friend Genki, and his crush Tiana. So why doesn't he talk to them about all these problems or ask for just help? While Tiana is starling, Miles is the only one with real powers, and he always turned to Peter for help. He always knew what to say, even if it was just some lame joke. So that's pretty much where the issue leaves us with Miles. Now remember that girl in the beginning that Miles saved, Ranim? Well, it seems like she's not this sweet girl they portrayed earlier on. It's the end of the day for her as well, and as she headed back home, she went into her back office, and you see she has a ton of screens, and they're all monitoring Miles Morales. She knows his identity, and what seems to be pretty much everything about him, his friends, and his family. Something clearly happened with this girl because she mentions being born with nothing, and society still decided to take what little things she did have. She says they don't understand that not everyone can win the lottery of life. So to me, she's obviously talking about getting the radioactive spider bite, becoming Spider-Man, but she could also be making a reference to Miles winning the lottery, being accepted into the Brooklyn Visions Academy. Maybe she was someone that was entered and supposed to win. Either way, Miles has a new enemy to be on the lookout for. Alright everyone, that's a wrap on issue 1 of Miles Morales Spider-Man, written by Cody Ziglar. While I did break down the issue, I still suggest you picking up a copy so you can enjoy the issue for yourself and support the creators. Thank you for watching everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below what you thought of this issue, and if you like these breakdowns, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of my other content. Thank you again everyone, and I will see you on the next one.